Alright, that's good enough. There's people here already. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I would be back. Okay, we got some crazy stuff going on again. Nothing but crazy at this channel, right? Okay, let's get her started. Can you see it? And here's your thumbnail right there. And that's January 5th. And let's do some wavy line fixing here while we're... All right, let's just go ahead and put the loop into motion here. Here we are, January 5th, 2024, 1524. And boy, can I tell you the significance of 5 in 1. January 5th, if some people write it, or some cultures write it 5/1/24. They write the day first and then the month. Anyways, 5 and 1. We'll explain that later. I can't even explain that to you in this realm. If I told you that, you wouldn't understand it. You wouldn't believe it. So that will be something that'll be presented in the spiritual realm, I think, because I won't be able to explain it here. You guys just wouldn't understand. Anyway, we will try someday, though. In the meantime, here is your planetoid object. Some people call it Nibiru. Whatever, I just use that as the terminology for this title. It's not the actual Nibiru. That I will show you maybe tonight. All right, here at frame 324, you can see it. And then it skips to 417 to this image right here. Over on this side, you can clearly see it. It's the the instrumentation is reacting to it right here. Okay, and we'll let's just start zooming in, because this is such a beautiful shot. This is God's handiwork right here, showing you He's in control of the heavens. Boom, right there. Let's kind of do something to get those lines out of there. Back out right about there. Right there is pretty good. Sorry, I'm just trying to get you guys a quality picture here. And we need Scott over at Planet X News with his filters. Go ahead. Well, actually, we don't even need the filters this time. This thing is so crystal clear. There we go. All right. You can see round black spheroid, plasma surrounding it. It's drawing off plasma from the sun. It induced this CME. Over on this side, you can see the black spheroid, plasma around it. This is the ghost image behind it. And while we got it right there, let's go boom. All right, you can see it right here coming out. Here's the 3/4 of it. The rest of the bottom half is wrapped in plasma. All right, we're going backwards as it kind of... All right, now, here we go. It emerges from the occulter, comes out. Right here, let's just kind of brighten that up, even though the wavy lines. Boom. That shot right there, pretty undeniable. And you can see the ghost image back behind it. Right there. See the ghost image catching up there. Okay, also, let me back it up here real quick. I think it's that frame. Yeah. And then we'll go back to this. And what I'm going to do over here is I'm just going to slow the speed down and start it in reverse, and then just let you guys watch that for a second and let your mind wrap around that for a minute. All right. Not only have we had the X flares, the M flares, this long duration absorption event, which is still underway. Now we have another object inducing CMEs off the sun there. And what a shot, huh? Let's pull it down just a tad bit better. There we go. All right, so that's your activity on the sun for the 5th. And let's just look at it on that side while it's in motion too. Pretty good shot. Pretty undeniable. I mean, this time we're not looking or hunting around or watching the flow. It's blatantly obvious that it's there, so. All right, Jeremy, I'll send angels your way to help you find your friends. Okay, we got to keep moving on here, though, so let me back out of this real quick. Actually, one more time on this side. Jeremy Olson. Oh, I know. Okay, Jeremy, after I'm done with this show, I always do a prayer after the show, and I'm going to do a specific prayer for you and send angels your way to guide them back to you. All right? On both sides. Angels on your side to guide you, and angels on their side to guide them back to get you guys back together. All right? Just listen closely to that small voice on the inside, and it'll work. Okay, back to the show. Sorry, I have to do that stuff sometimes when we do it. All right, let's get on over here to our solar ham here and make some. Oh, please, Lord, may I have the instrument? Bear with me for a second here. This was all set up to go. Come on now, solar ham, what's your deal? All right, here we go. There's your GOES X-ray flux. In fact, we're just going to go like this and use this part of the instrument now. Earlier today, I wanted to do a quick report for you guys because I had some good news. It was orange and blue instead of red and green. Now it's kind of red and blue. This has lightened up a little bit on the upper one. We're still getting intense down here. You guys hopefully by now have listened to the interview with Mike from Around the World with Pastor Paul Begley. He was talking about this very thing and talking about imagine a mid-range C, M flare that just lasts for a long time, has effects that flow, a mid-range M flow that just lasts for a long time. And that's what we're seeing pretty much right here, okay? And I should have titled this In the Grip, because we are still in the grip of this magnetic field right here, this absorption event, all right? And it's been 3 days now. It started off mild and grew in intensity and has just been intense this whole time. It is lightening up. It was kind of orange earlier. It has strengthened since, and that's because we got this right here, this M flare that's backing this up. All right, so just when this should subside, we got this coming through. And I think what has happened now is with that last X flare and the this long absorption event has now opened the door for magnetic energy to come through and just pelt us. And when we get over to the Schuman, you're going to see what I mean. Meantime, let's finish up here. Okay. X flare potential down to 10%. Watch out. Right now, we're in the middle of something right here. You can see this little spot starting to glow green. See how we climbing up into something right now. Here, January 6th, nothing. I bet we're still in G1, maybe there, G2. We'll see. Good news is earlier there were 3 beta gamma spots. 2 of them have gone, have reduced, but we still have this monster, 3536. That's the one we're most concerned with, and it is still beta gamma. All right. KP index way down low. Look, something's suppressing it. I swear this absorption event has like a magnetic grip on the planet. It's like squeezing, like having a ball in your hand and squeezing down on it and keeping a lot of this pressure from rising to the top yet. It seems like there's something squeezing down. There's like a magnetic force that's kind of holding things down. Here's our auroras, okay? And they're still vibrant green. I want you to look at let's see if we can capture it right here. It's just very odd how it's very faint on this side. It's not really capturing it here too well. Let's try it like that. Because this area is very faint, but we have a very thick, vibrant area right here. Instead of being very, evenly distributed in a nice smooth circle, it's very weak but very intense right on this side. That tells me something's going on here. All right. Same with this one. It's a little off. Usually when we have one of these events, it'll broaden out and then turn yellow and orange, not get thicker and weaker in one area. It's just very strange. I know we're in the nighttime side of it right now. Whoops. But there it updated. But it's just pulled to one side. Here's the North Pole right here. Very much pulled to one side and just kind of vibrant at one very wide band, but then very weak up here. So an odd aurora right now. Right here, let's see if we can get this thing a little bigger. Yeah, there's 3536 rounding out to point straight at us, okay? And we just had that event today. So watch out. This thing, hopefully when it gets middle disk right here, it doesn't fire off at us. Let's open up the tracker here, see what they got for us. All right. I just showed you that Nibiru looking type object coming off the sun, creating a CME, and there's nothing on the tracker. So they either haven't updated it or they're just not going to put it on there. Can we have that back, please? All right. Over here you can see that they're not really tracking too much either. I want to take a peek at this at the end of this thing here. There we go. All right, I'm not going to play the movie because there's nothing really on it, but I wanted to look at this time frame right here. You see how they showed this inclining here on both stereo A and Earth around the 9th. Okay, so an increase in they're predicting around the 9th. I don't know why, because we haven't even reached the 6th yet, which would have influence on the 9th. But there's that. What were they showing? You know what? Let me upload that movie real quick. My bad. I should have just done it while we were there. Come here, you. Because I want to see what they're showing coming in. Play it, please. Yeah, just 10 seconds here. 5, 4, 7, 3, 2, 1. There you go. See, it's not showing anything coming off. I don't know what they're showing here, but oh, maybe this arm wrapping around coming, coming into our possible coronal hole right there, probably spinning around at that time. So energy possibly coming in at the 9th. But that doesn't really matter because we already absorbing stuff right now. Okay, so back out of this and I think we're done here. Yeah, there they are talking about below is an updated look at the current visible sunspot regions facing our planet. Solar activity since the M38 has been low. A number of low-level C flares were observed around various regions, including 34, 35, or 35, 34, 36, and 38. We already read that yesterday. That didn't change. All right, let's come on over to here. And here we go. Let me just zoom in a tad bit more on this for you. We can kind of zoom the ads out to the side there. All right. 40% chance of solar flares today. There are only 4 numbered sunspot groups on the sun today, but 3 of them have unstable beta gamma. All right, that was earlier today. There was 3 of them. Now I just showed you it's only 1. So that's changed now. That was earlier today. The beta gamma magnetic fields that harbor energy. NOAA forecasters say there is a 40% chance of an M-class flare or flares at 15% of X flares on January 5th. All right, well, I just showed you what came off on January 5th. Right there. Okay. And it doesn't look to be coming our direction. It'd be going behind us. So that might cause tidal surges, different effects from that. All right. Anyways, Solar Max is coming. Solar Cycle 25 began in December 2019. Sunspot groups have crossed the face of the sun. All right, here is the little tracking since 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. And where is the other bigger image that I can pop on? Here. There is 2023. Pretty crazy, huh? Now, this isn't all individual spots. This is you can see this group right here is the same group moving across. All right. Some of these in the middle are, are the same group. This is just over time lapse. Here's one day, second day, third day, fourth day as it moved across. All right. It's not that many spots so far, but that's the progression of them. And then as we go back, you'll see that's quite a lot more than what we were used to before. What did it say here? Oh, Solar Max is coming. The sunspot production has skyrocketed. I created this 4-year overlay. Okay. The graph beneath the images from NOAA, it shows exactly monthly sunspot counts, predictions. The sun is outperforming the forecast. That's important. The sun is outperforming the forecast. Many forecasters believe solar max will occur in 2024 now. That means we can expect even more sunspots this year. What? As if we haven't seen enough. Solar flare, geomagnetic storms, and auroras are in the offing. So stay tuned. 2024, they're agreeing, looks to be a big year of solar flares, geomagnetic storms, and auroras. All right, so everybody hold on. Now, here we come over to the Schuman, and this is going to hurt. You see what we're looking at here? Well, let's pull it up a little bit more, right? I want as much of it without the ad. There we go. Yeah. Do you guys see this harmonic tremor type activity going on off to the right here? After this screeching event, I wish we had this data. This is crucial data that was right there. After that, we came out of it very weak. All right. There was hardly any 7.83 right here. Then it kind of fires back up. You see this grinding really hard at 12 hertz right here. And this is where I believe where the magma crust boundary is. Because when these waves come up, these frequency waves, the crust is thicker. It's more dense than the lava, than the magma down below. So it's harder to penetrate. It lowers the frequency. So as we go up here, these are the lower frequencies at the top, 0 being the top, all right? So this kind of activity would indicate where a barrier is. And I believe this is probably where the barrier is, where the magma and the crust are. And we had this big scraping event, and then we came out of it, and look at this line right here. If I could get here, I'm going to sacrifice this wonderful position with the camera and everything I got. Well, maybe I won't. Let's see if I can go like that. Just a tad bit. Yeah, I'm trying to do earlier. Other people are doing their shows earlier, so it gives me opportunity to get it out earlier to you guys. I'm on there. All right, anyways. Right here, you can see our weakening right there, that dark line that went right down there. We have what appears to be a lockup. And now that the dynamo down below is locked up, the magma is still magnetized, right? It still has a magnetic field because it's flowing and moving, right? I believe that we have a new magnetic field right now because the core shell dynamo has locked up, and now we are seeing harmonic magnetic resonance from the moving lava down below, and we have a new magnetic field frequency now. Can you see how this one's more dominant than 7.83? And it's all tight grid work. You see this here? Oh, come here, Lord. Help me. Give me patience, Lord. I am... Oh, why does it always have to be so... All right, hang on for a second. I really want to pull this in tighter because I want you guys to be able to see this grid work. And if I could just get past this little bump here. There we go. I can pull my computer in a little tighter. Okay, now you're seeing this harmonic grid work that we have seen before. All right. Trying to take the wavy lines out so you can see that these aren't wavy lines in your screen. This is the Schuman. Here is this, what appears to be a lockup, because it cuts through all of them, and when it comes back to life, see it trying to scrape, but it doesn't. And there's another dark line right here, that faint dark line. We might have what is going, the core shell dynamo has seized up. It's still magnetic itself, even though when it's not rotating, it still has a small magnetic field to it. Like it's like if you took electricity to a nail and magnetized a nail. All right. Before you did it, the nail had no magnetism whatsoever. You put a positive and a negative on it, it becomes a magnet. Then you take that off, and for a little while, that nail is still magnetized. It fades, but the ions and electrons are still in rows that keep it magnetized. All right. And here's rose, here's magnetic. I believe we might be right now seized up, and we are having our magnetic field is at 12 hertz. It's not the 7.83. So you guys are probably feeling weird. Then with this kind of effect, say we don't have the 7.83, it's not all vibrant. You see how usually it's nice and green and strong? Does that look green and strong? No, but this does. We have a different magnetic resonance as our shield, and when that happens, we get absorption. This effect right here, the X flare cannot last 4 to 5 days. All right, this effect right here is happening because our magnetic field has changed. And if we come over here, this is a different Schuman resonance recorder over at Mr. MBB. And this is basically the other one turned upside down. And look at all these huge, huge spikes. All this activity is missing from the other one, but there's all these huge grinding events, really intense, long duration, really intense. And then when we come out of it, look how dark it gets. Look how dark the rest of the graph gets. Now, coming back to this one, see what I'm talking about? And look how prior to this grid work, okay, say if this were military using whatever kind of instrument, or something, radar blocking, radar jamming, instrument jamming, whatever, to jam up these frequencies. But look, before this event, see how this activity was already happening at these levels prior to the event. That tells me this is real data. This isn't a glitch. This is actual data. And what it seems to be indicating, we're getting the wavy lines, but I don't care. Here we go. We either go for or don't, huh? All in, all in. Right there. Bing. And when you come over and look at this almost looks three-dimensional. It looks like it rounds a corner like a page and dips down three-dimensionally into like a little valley, and then rises up out of the valley and comes into the thing again. See it? But right there, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. It kind of bends down and then pops back up. And look at this new frequency here. This is 12 hertz, not 7.83. And 12 hertz probably doesn't protect us as well as 7.83, and thus we absorb a lot more. This absorption event isn't going to end in a long time now. Mike was right. This is going to be like a long duration M event absorption. Okay, so we are in the grip. We're in like a electromagnetic grip now from the sun, from what appears to be our core dynamo seizing up, or very, very slow or something. And like I said, if you took the electricity away from a nail, it would still be magnetized. So the core shell are still magnetized here at 7.83. They're still giving off. a small frequency. It's not much, but it's there. And now the magma roiling and moving up along the underside of the crust is now generating a new magnetic field line, or new magnetic field, I believe. And that's what we're looking at here, you guys. All right, I probably said that 1,000 times already, but I don't think it's going to sink in really, folks. Nah, let's move on. Those blasts right there, they aren't blasts. That's the core and the shell screeching on each other very intensely, creating intense radio frequencies from down below in all the different hertz. Okay, this goes from what 0 to 60 hertz on this one, and these spikes go way up out of the screen. So they probably went 60, 100, 200 probably. They probably spiked around 200, somewhere around there. And that gave everybody a good jolt of weird energy right there. And now everybody's used to having this nice, even 7.83 that we all kind of hum along at. Well, that's been disrupted. And now you got something else ringing in your ears, probably at a different hum now, a different note. The planet is humming at a different note, at a different frequency now. Our planet is humming at a different frequency now. 12 hertz. So hard to tell you guys this stuff. Thank you, Lord, for giving me the strength and giving you guys the courage to listen to this stuff. This is not easy channel to be at, all right? Okay, let's come on over here. Pop on this one. A 4.9. Whoops, we got to do a little adjusting here. Get everything in the frame. Oh, looks like we got lucky there. So, 4.9 down at 484. Not super deep, but a semi-deep quake. 4.4 at 94. 4.5 down at 20. 4.9 down at 155 there. Coming up here, our fulcrum point over here by Taiwan, 4.5. Noticing anything? Still that mid-range 4. We're coming into our spot at Japan here where we had our big quake. Not a bunch of them, but 4.2, 4.4, 4.9, and the big one, 5.2. So mid-range 4 to 5 energy right here. Not a bunch of quakes, but 4 of them. Okay. And it's within that mid-range 4 to 5 energy. We're being held at a certain magnitude right now, magnetically, I think. There's your 4.8 down at 121. Here's a 4.7 down at 10. Over here by Greece, we have a 4.1. All right, so this energy is still trying to come to the surface and trying to pop off quakes, but it can only do it up to a magnitude of, 4.5 or, 5. Let's go over here. That's in Madison, Ohio. Up here. Then, what do we got here? 4.2 down in Little Creek, California. Watch for this now. We got a movement down in this region. That's going to be maybe your new weak spot right there when this pressure releases, when this grip releases, and then the pressure down below can make it up. We seriously need a volcanic event, a big earthquake, or something to release so our Schuman goes back to humming normally. This is like a runaway scenario right here. If we keep at this and our magnetic field keeps just absorbing solar wind now, like this. This is a runaway train. And eventually it's going to induce so much energy in there that it's going to have to release. So, anyways, let's continue on. These ones over here, the fulcrum point, do we cover these here at India? 4.8 there down at 121 and a 4.7 down at 10. All right, so we got this mid-range 4 to 5 energy just kind of floating around the planet right now. There's 4.5 there and a 4.1 down at 272 there. All right, so our earthquake activity is quiet. It's all that's good, but not good. We need an energy release, and it looks like it's not going to release until we're released from this grip. And if we have this now inducing that new energy absorption effect, this grip might just keep squeezing down, and we're going to keep absorbing, and it's going to keep squeezing until something major pops. So see what's going on here, folks. I pray I'm wrong, but these instruments are telling a story. All right, let's come on over here now. And whoopsie, we need to refresh that, please. All right, our polar vortex, double vortex is growing in size and in strength and in weirdness. Okay. There you can see the United States right here, and this whole complex, this whole bipolar complex has rotated and shifted now. And now this flow that was coming over Greenland before is now coming over the Hudson Bay and shooting down right at America. You see how it's peeling off and coming this way? So a lot of cold air going to come invade America now. You see these red bands? This is the intensity of the wind speed up there, okay? It's already creeping into America here. These bands are creeping into America. Let's see if I can see. They're kind of creeping back this way into Northern California or Southern California area and the Puget Sound area. And now when I release it, see that wind going through there? All right, that's your vortex taking that cold air out of the northern area into there. Now I'm going to drop it down to the upper jet stream and watch this. Boom. See this big dip right here where it was funneling that air into here? See what it's done to the jet stream now? It's taken all this air out of here off of the Pacific, bringing it down into the Puget Sound area. You guys are going to be in for weather. Southern California, Baja California region right here is going to be in for it. Now watch how this stuff goes up the coast, up the East Coast. So this dip is going to bring those cold air masses, slam them together with the warm air, and drive them up the East Coast like we've been watching these freight train storms going through the eastern seaboard. And here we go again. All right, all because upstairs, up above, we got this polar vortex now distributing and splitting right over the Great Lakes region. All right. While we're here, we need to go next door to the chemical department, pick up some SO2, cut the wind out, and see our pressure is growing down below. This side of the country is darkening in now. See it filling in here. Let's just zoom in for you guys in this region. Coming over to here, we got SO2 coming out of these volcanoes now along the ridge here. Not good. Not good. We're due for an eruption because pressure is building up down below. In fact, if this magnetic grip kind of suppresses the earthquake activity, we'll probably see it release in the form of a volcano instead now. And oh, that's a lot better. It was really dark in there earlier. Okay, so maybe we're getting a little release pressure. It's definitely coming out in the form of SO2. Yeah, the pressure shoves this gas out through the perforations in the crust. Let me back out a little bit there. And then also, while we're here, we got to start adding this into the mix too, the fires and hot spots. And they've kind of died down in this region right here. There was a big flare up in there earlier, but that has died down. Wow, the fires and hot spots have really died down right now. That's good. I think we're in between. The Earth is breathing in and out. You know, pressure swells and then splits and then decreases and then swells again. So the Earth's kind of breathing a little bit. Our earthquakes. Oh, volcano report. I missed the volcano report. So let me take out a couple of these instruments here that take up too much space. That one can go. That one can go. And that one can go. We'll keep the D layer up. The Schuman up. And it appears there. Yeah, no, that's still current data right there. So this effect might last for a long time now if we don't get a break and get a release of energy here. Okay, let's see. I'm going to open up the weather app now. Thank you for hanging in there, folks. Thank you for dedicating a little of your precious time to this channel. You can see that it's very important that we stay on top of this stuff because it's always changing. And I wanted to bring up the volcano report as well, because that is going to be where we're going to start seeing our side effects, I believe, in a more drastic way. 25 active erupting, 25 erupting, 18 warned, and the other 33 in unrest. See that up there? Okay. Okay, so far going into the 6th here, we got Fuego, Semaru, Reykjanes coming back to life, Luatobi, Luatolo, Nevada del Ruiz, Ebico, and Uluwan. Uluwan, told you, watch out for that one. There it is, back on the list. So here's a nice little graph of the hazard map around Iceland. Oh, another volcano here on this island had a depression, collapse. So we saw a sinkhole. I'll have to look up the other one. But that third volcano, I think it's back in this region here. Watch for it to possibly go active now. All right, all of Reykjanes here is probably going to wake up. This thing is probably going to do that fountain, that curtain effect here probably pretty soon. Okay, Reykjanes, I'm sorry, darling. I could not do this with your weird looking eye like that. And no, I did not click on it. See, that's what I hate. These ads, you try to click the X to X out of it, but then they still get the click. They still get their ad in. That's better. I'll rather look at that. Anyways, back to business. Reykjanes, a new hazard map for the region has been updated based on the recent measurements from January 5th. The hazard assessment includes the seismic activity, ground deformation, and geodetic models. Ebico eruption. I wanted the height. Here we are at Suwanosejima. Uluwan, I told you it would be on there. 9,000 feet. All right. So that was the one that had the biggest blast of the year so far. Came out of Uluwan. Look out, folks. It's waking up, and it already had one to 9,000 feet. Luatobi, 9,000 to 10,000 feet. That one's never had a measurement before. Now we're getting almost 10,000 foot blasts out of it. Luotolo, explosive activity continues. 6,000 feet out of that one. We never really see measurements either. Here we are, Semaru, busting 10,000 up to 15. Fuego, 16,000. All these ones that are above 10,000, take note of, because they are increasing in altitude. Nevada del Ruiz, 23,000. Okay, and that was just for the few minutes of the 6th that it is. We're going to the report of the 5th now, which was already today. Okay, Reykjanes, a strong 4.5 earthquake occurred near whatever yesterday at about 10:50. A 4.5? Wonder why it's not on the map. Wonder why USPS doesn't have it on their map. Oh, well, now we know. They had a 4.5, didn't they? I was just telling you, watch that area, and they had a 4.5 today with earthquake 3.9. Events were centered mainly about 20 kilometers northeast of the Stravinsky. Depth at results stress releasing of crust, the releasing of crust movement on the Reykjanes Peninsula. All right. Manam, here's a new one too on there from 9,000 feet. Gamalama? Does that really say Gamalama? Okay. Everybody, you say it with me. Gamalama. Seismic recordings, okay, between December 1st and January 3rd of 2024, about 470 volcano-tectonic earthquakes have been monitored roughly. All right, so Gamalama coming to life. Look out, they're erupting. Ibu, 8,000 feet. Luatobi, 9,000. Semaru, 14,000. Marapi, 16,000. Popo, 19,000. Do you see how many are above 10,000? And we're into almost 20,000s, you know. Santo Guido, 19,000. Fuego, 16,000. Nevada del Ruiz, Reventador. Okay. All right. I see what's happening here. It's totally happening this way now. This magnetic grip that we have kind of suppressing the earthquake activity, it's going to squeeze down and like squeeze the guts out of the tomato. And you're going to see all the juice in the tomato come flying out through the through cracks, vents, and that's what will also trigger earthquakes. You're going to start seeing earthquakes around volcanoes, I bet, a lot more now as these things come to life and actually vent the energy from down below. Currently erupting: Bizimani, Ducono, Ebico, Arubis, Erta Ale. See, these are ones that weren't on the report. These are ones that are still erupting as well. Fuego, Ibu, Krakatau. Krakatau, watch out for that one. Luatobi, Luatolo, Marapi, Messiah, that's a semi-new one on this active list. Merapi, Michael in the South Sandwich Islands. We all kind of forget about that one, but that one's going off as well. Niragongo, Popo, Reventador, Sabankaya, Sakurajima, Sangay, Samaru, Shivalu, Stromboli, Yasur. Okay, then all these, let's go through this list. This one's going to be more important actually because I expect pretty much all of these on this list to go transfer over to this list here in the very near future. Watch for Aoba to start going off. Bangana, Etna, Great Sitkin in the Aleutian Islands. All those volcanoes up in the Aleutian Islands, watch out. They're going to come to life. Karangatang, Manam, that one we already saw switch over. Mayon should switch over. Nevada del Ruiz is already, we saw that already going off over here. This Nishinoshima, oh man, Japan, everything around Japan. This thing, the Iwo Jima Island building, watch out for an event there. This Nyamura Gira, Reung, Rekehanis, magnitude 4.5. You might as well throw that over there because it's going to go here pretty soon. Ricon de Vieja, Suwanosijima, Ubinus, Ulawan. See, it should be over on this one. I was telling you, some of these are going to be jumping over there. Villarica, I expect to see going over there as well. So a lot of these volcanoes are about to start going active because of all that pressure down below. This pressure down below that has caused this. I can't believe that this data is actually up. I think this data right here showing what is starting to happen, this event right here is more important than the screeches that we're used to seeing. I'm going to screenshot that later. Back to volcanoes. I'm sorry we're taking so much time on the volcanoes, but that is going to be our kind of new earthquake report for the meantime is volcanic activity, I believe. Let's get over here to our forecast. Start this puppy up and let it rip. Oh, what happened here? The event that was supposed to go just kind of blow out of here went up? Oh, dear God. Sorry. I'm just kind of waiting for this thing to come back around to the other loop. Yeah, we are going to be getting some nasty weather now because of the polar vortex moving around and rotating more towards us now. I think that's pretty good right there. All right. Current conditions. This thing coming together right now. Severe weather in Alabama, down in the region right there. And then that's the nighttime of the 5th. As we go into the morning here of the 6th, we're going to have some icing event right here, probably in West Virginia area. Severe weather down here in the Panhandle corner pocket area of Florida, Georgia. So you guys in that region are going to be waking up to some severe weather. You see snow up here, also coming into onshore here. What? Hang on, hold up. I missed something. Hang on. Something. Hey, hey, hey. Uh, this is Mount Rainier. We had a little earthquake right there. A 1.0, 1.7, 0.05. Uh, no. This one. Sorry, I had to do that. Something told me come back here and check this. Yeah. Look at this. All right, around this is Mount Rainier. We're having activity around the foot of it, and when we go in tight right here to the summit, to the summit of it, yeah, we're having activity here at Mount Rainier. Yeah, we're gonna have to. Oh, here we are at in Mount St. Helens. Let me sorry here. I'm trying to get all these wow. All right, you see all the quake activity here around Mount St. Helens. You guys in the Pacific Northwest, get ready. Get ready. These these guys are waking up. Um this one as well, whatever this feature is. Oh, is this Clear Lake? No. Not much. Where all right, I just wanted to see we had pressure and stuff or SO2 coming out of these regions right here. I just now that we're looking for earthquake activity at volcano sites, we're gonna have to start tracking this stuff closer. Everybody start monitoring your volcanoes up here and earthquake swarms in this region. All right, back to the forecast. All right, sorry. Now, start over here. That's current conditions, the morning of the 6th. Now we go into the noontime. You see the snow creeping up into Pennsylvania up there. That's going into New York by the end of convection as this storm moves in. Then we have the nighttime, morning of the 7th, noon, afternoon, nighttime, morning of the 8th. You see this low right here sinking down in there. Watch out because it does this. The noontime of the 8th, convection right there. We just saw activity come off the sun on the 5th today. That'll be beginning here on the 8th. So this event right here could possibly have energy enhanced effects. That's the end of convection the 8th, going into the nighttime. See this right here getting more wrapped up and organized here. And that's Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Arkansas, Illinois, Missouri area. The morning of the 9th now. All right. You see the severe weather still down in this region. Morning of the 9th. There's the noon time of the 9th. Whatever comes off the sun on the 6th tomorrow will dictate whether this intensifies even more. I don't see how it could intensify any more than that, but so there's your noontime, January 9th. Everybody in that zone, get ready. Hold on. There's going to be a lot of winds with this. You're going to lose power possibly. And look at that. That's the end of convection right there. This whole alley is just going to be lit up probably with high winds, severe weather, tornadoes, hail, possible derecho type effects, straight, just a big wall of wind, straight line wind that, long duration, steady, high winds. Going to be devastating. Right there is the nighttime of the 9th. The snow wrapping back around is no joke either. Boom. These little pockets of icing, that ice sticks to branches, sticks to power lines, takes out power. That's the morning of the 10th going into the noon time of the 10th up here into Maine, Nova Scotia area. It's going to get nasty up through there. And then it moves out into convection on the 10th. There's a night, morning of the 11th. Another thing sneaking in here. Noon, the night, or no, that's the convection of the 11th. Nighttime of the 11th. The morning hours, you see how these come together in the morning hours with icing in here. When you see these pink events like that, think possible power outages as well. Same with these tight millibars. It's going to be very, very windy right there as this thing comes together by the noontime of the 12th. Looks more like a land hurricane by the end of convection on the 12th. By the nighttime, there just turns into gnarly blizzard on the backside of this. These tight millibars with this heavy snow. Look out, you guys in that region. That's Illinois, Indiana. Is that it's hitting Chicago. Oh, it's just going to give Chicago an uppercut right there. Watch out, you people in that region. That's going to be gnarly for you guys. Bam. That'll be the morning hours. Still severe weather in the morning hours. I'm losing terminology and descriptive adjectives to describe this without dropping some profanity. Anyways, there is that effect right there by the noontime the 13th, convection the 13th, the night of the 13th. Look at this heavy icing up in here. Watch, go back one for me. Icing in this, and then as it goes into the nighttime, right up there, just off the main. If this could shift, by 50 miles will change, it'll hit different areas, but that's what they're showing so far. I'm kind of at a loss for words. And then here we go again. Look at this. These two air masses coming together again, kissing. Look at that icing event. What? Wow. Icing down in Arkansas, Louisiana, Tennessee. Severe weather down in Georgia, Florida. This is around the 16th. There's your time frames and everything up there. I'm not going to call them out now because we're a little further into the future and this is all going to change. But for right now, they're showing another collision of air masses. Look at, here we go again. Another low right there. And don't forget, we got that polar vortex coming shooting right down in here and wrapping around this way. Remember, it was coming down in and wrapping around. So cold air masses are going to be on the table as well. Here we go again. 979 millibars there as that thing does an uppercut. Maine is just getting hit over and over and over again. And that's that trough, that flow I was showing you in the upper jet. Bringing stuff down, coming up, picking up moisture, and then driving it up the East Coast. All right, that's the end of it. So let's go ahead and start that little loop. I'm going to actually zoom in on that loop for a minute and just let it play for a second. And then unzoom it so you can get your timestamps as well. Wow. Oh my God. Yeah. And then with our magnetic field changing like it is, weather is going to start getting wonky as well. As if this isn't wonky enough, we're going to see even different side effects that we haven't even seen yet. So, wow, look at that. Just crazy. Get gas for your snow blowers. Get a small chainsaw. So if a tree falls across your driveway, you can cut it, and get out. Even trees that fall across the road, you'll be able to clear out your neighborhood so people can get in and out. Start prepping, you guys. Start getting ready to get hit by a storm that's gonna rock that place and leave it crippled, and then have a back-to-back event. Just as you think you're going to recover, another event comes in, and then another and another. So once this starts, there might not be many breaks in between to recover. And when there are breaks in between, you better recover because there's something else coming. So say you just cleared your driveway and you think you're all good, you better push snow further back and make room for the next round. So you're going to be you guys that are getting hit with snow, on your first snowplow or whatever, push everything as far back as you can and leave room for the next round because you're going to be getting dose after dose. Same with water. Your flooding areas down here, if you live next to a small creek, expect it to turn into a raging river. All right. Are you far back enough? Do you have trampolines out in your yard? Is there still stuff that could blow away when 80 mile an hour winds come through your neighborhood? You got to start thinking about loose objects in your yard now, tying things down, battening things down, um, preparing for power outages. Um, Backup batteries for your phones. I know everybody relies on your phone so much. My son has one of these little solar chargers that charges his phone. I think I'm going to get one too. It's like about the size of a phone, and it's a solar panel that can recharge your phone from the sun. That won't last forever as well because we have volcanic blasts putting ash in the atmosphere. Solar won't be as effective. It, possibly still work, but it won't be as effective when we have the sunlight being blocked out. Storms, clouds also, dim the sun and make it harder for your solar things to recharge as well. But everybody get ready because winter is arriving now. And I think the lull in activity has kind of caught everybody maybe sleeping here. Don't get caught off guard. Don't get caught sleeping. These storms are coming, and they're very powerful, and they'll probably be historic. All right, they're gonna be doing some stuff that we weren't expecting to see. These storms are getting more powerful. All right, so that's it for the solar earthquake. Actually, you know what? Let's kind of go back here for a minute and look at that one more time because I'm going to show you a Nibiru, the real Nibiru, captured just like this, captured on Soho. Actually, it was actually the shot that Stereo A captured was much better. And the computer's got a mind of its own, so while it does its thing, all right, there we go. We'll let that kind of go for a minute. Look at that. Boom. And over on this side. What did that say? Can you in the future show us the UK, please, Brian? If time allows. Be much appreciated. Yeah, here, you know what? That map doesn't have the UK, but let me do this. I can go to Venture Sky and we can check out the UK. Let me open up this one here called Venture Sky. It's an app that you might, or a site that you might want to try visiting for your weather. These storm chasers got the really nice apps and everything, but this is a kind of general, covers it all site. And we can come over here. All right. As it loads up, you guys are so patient with me. There's some snow totals right there. Okay. People were asking snow coverage in Kansas. There's Kansas right there. Okay, so now we're gonna go over to the UK. You guys are in big trouble. You know that, right? Actually, not showing much for the UK. So let's go to the satellite. And we got all kinds of options. We can do satellite, radar. Here, actually, we should do radar. But that's the wrong one. Okay, UK is kind of doing all right for the moment. There's no real major storms coming your way. You guys still are kind of caught in that polar vortex, though, a little bit. So you will be seeing, cold weather and stuff. But right now, not much coming over at the UK. All right, and we can go to cloud satellite. Oh, precipitation. And yeah, not much going on for them right now, but that'll all change. And down here, see this little play bar down here? It's right at the end right now, hasn't really refreshed. But earlier in the day, when it's down here, you can push this forward and it'll show you your forecast. Here, I think I can do it like this because it goes into the next day, I believe. Yeah, that's showing 7 a.m. our time, the 6th. Let's go to about 7 p.m. there. Yeah, so not much going on. It's all out in here. Okay, so this little site, Venture Sky, is fun to come over here and play around with it and go through all the different ones. And you can even track the tornadoes halfway on this. Not as well as they can, but it helps for tracking the storm. And if you know how the storm's moving, you can help forecast as well. Now we did all that. Oh, I was going to show you the real Nibiru. Okay, so and that's part of the spiritual report, maybe for tonight on my channel here. I got to get rid of this volcano site because it takes up so much with all the ads on that site. Oh, all right. We can actually use this. You know, trying to get a YouTube page open so I can get to my channel, and we will show you what was captured back on. Yes, whatever. I'll hit yes. I just want my channel. I believe we'll start experiencing some technical difficulties in the internet and satellite communications and stuff, and delays here pretty soon, probably with our. Come on, really? How about we just go? It's amazing. All their ads can manage to pop up just fine, but when you're trying to like access your channel or anything like that, it's headaches. All right, sorry you have to look at the inside of my hand. I just don't want all these These guys and their ads. What there should be ads all over for are Jesus. Waste of time. Anything else is just a waste of time now. All right. We're coming on down here to September 10th of 2017. Oh, and boy, do I have another thing for you guys. The lady who does stellarium has made some discoveries that will probably scare the daylights out of everybody. But here we are. I don't see. Yeah, you can maybe make out the date here when I start this up. Alrighty. Okay, here we're just going to leave the sound out of this for a minute. Okay, right about here. Okay, boom, right there. Okay. Oh, this camera is capturing it so much better than my old one did. Your round black spheroid object, plasma surrounding it. There's even like a wing pointing back this way and one coming off that way. In fact, let's go like this. Bring it a little closer. Okay, date down there, September 10th, 2017. This is 13 days before the Revelation 12 sign. Then, all right, can you see the little wing bending back? And there's one on this side. It's kind of blended in, but if you tilt your head to the right, about that angle right there, you can see both wings on it. And then back behind it, here, let's just go ahead and play this. Here. This looks like Nibiru. It's got a wing coming off on this side and a wing coming off on that side. And that's not all, because behind that is this big object right here. This is what's causing our flares. Here's a conduit of plasma that is sucking off of our sun, going into this planet. Here's a damage ring or an impact zone on this planet right here. You can see Nibiru sticking out in front of it here. All right. Here's our giant round spheroid right here. This is a conduit of plasma that is sucking off from the top and the bottom of the sun in a cone-shaped effect, drawing this huge plasma stream right into the planet or right into the surface of this. And when it hits the surface, it smashes out in a round circular fashion called an impact zone or an impact zone or like a circle, a debris circle or whatever. Right here, you can see the red planet Nibiru, popped out in front of it there. This is a three-dimensional image. And let's see here. What I'm going to try to do at this moment, you guys, I think most of you guys can see it. People with spiritual eyes can see this. All right. Most people can't see it. All right. So if you're seeing it, you're gifted. Most people just see the light. Oh, it's a CME here and there. They're looking at the light part and not what is causing it. All right. This thing is so massive that it bends and absorbs light. It doesn't reflect light. Therefore, you can't see it. It's invisible. The only way you can see it is when it interacts with the sun and the sun spits plasma out that drapes over it like an invisible table with a tablecloth over it. Okay. And this happened 13 days before the Revelation 12 sign in the sky. Now, what I need to tell you guys most importantly about this part right here, this Nibiru thing, I am not a Nibiru guy. I was never a big Nibiru fan, all right? I was a ufologist. I had plenty of hours of real UFO activity, and I was more of a ufologist. And I see these people taking pictures of the sun and getting their lens flare and calling that Nibiru. And that was back then. Everybody had these lens flares on YouTube going, "Oh, I captured Nibiru. I captured Nibiru." Well, what they didn't capture was the real one because it's hard to capture. It bends light. It absorbs light. You can't see it. It's so dense. It's almost like neutron star material. It's absent electrons, so any kind of electrons or plasma that hits it, it absorbs it. It doesn't reflect light, it absorbs it. And then when there's too much and it drapes around it, it paints the contour of it. Okay. So I was never a Nibiru guy. God showed me this. And I stared at it for a long time, going, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Look at it." Well, yeah. All I see is this flare coming out and this flare coming out. And blah, blah. I'm used to looking at it like the world had us looking at it, looking at the light part, not at where the light is missing. A new way of looking at things, a new way of thinking of things. And then I was like, "Oh, I see it now." And he goes, "Look deeper, there's more." And looking at this image now, and I'm like, "What? I don't see it." It's like, think the big picture. So I zoomed in. Well, it was so big that you couldn't see it. It was like those cloud images. It was so big in your face, you couldn't see it. He said, "Think the big picture." So I zoomed out to get the big picture. You zoom out, not in. It's too big in your face. You have to zoom out to see the big picture. And when I zoomed out, lo and behold, there it is. There's your Nibiru and Nemesis showing up on 13 days before the Revelation 12 sign, as promised. Everybody was looking for the dragon afterwards because in the Revelation, it says there was a sign, the woman, then another sign, the dragon. But they didn't read it right. It says the dragon stood in front of the woman. It stood in front by 13 days. It was 13 days in front of the star alignment. There's the dragon right there. Captured by NASA's equipment on their own satellites. And now this image is hard to find anymore. It's hard to find anymore. I sometimes I go digging around and I can still find it at one site, but there is your celestial signpost right there. And God's clock works on the stars. It's not man's calendar. That's Gregorian calendar. He uses the stars and the moon and stuff as his timepiece. And when this happened, that was the beginning of all this, what's happening to me. Okay. Ever since this day right here, my life did a. It's funny. Some people said my life did a 360, but that's all the way around, right? It's a 180. Well, my life did a 180 and then a 270 and then a 360. So it violently changed, but then straightened back out again and back forward into my life again. So, but this event right here is very disturbing for people who know what they're looking at. They'll probably have a heart attack because this thing means the end of our planet. Look how much bigger than it is of our sun. Our sun is this white circle. Okay, it's not the black occulter. The sun is represented by that white circle. This thing is so much bigger than our sun. And it's like the stellar core. It's the core probably of our binary twin. That's probably our binary twin right there that you're looking at. And, so I did a drawing of this while I was incarcerated. And I just did this from memory. All right. I wasn't able to look at this image for years, and I just kind of was trying to describe it to somebody, and I had no option but to just draw it. And I'm glad I did, because now it's my reference here. And what I'm going to do here is kind of do this without messing up the computer too much. Oh, good. You can kind of see it right there. All right. And here's that effect. Here's the sun. Here's that conical effect. All the plasma being pulled off, smashing into this planet. The damage ring right here in the impact zone. The stuff flowing over it. Okay. And then I overdid it on the wings. But that's kind of the image of what we're looking at here. All right. To give you it's a three-dimensional object out in space that we're seeing on a two-dimensional screen. All right. So there's your beginning of Revelation 12 right there, actually happening, taking place right when it said it would. That's what's amazing. This is in that time frame right before the star alignment. Now, I found a lady who has deciphered a lot more from stellarium, and what I will I'm not going to show it here. I will just post it over in my community, and I'll post the link up there with her research and stuff, and what she has discovered. Well, you can be the judge of it. You don't have to believe it, but what she has discovered is right on track, and it will knock your socks off as far as the timeline and how close we are. Okay, she did some amazing research, and I'll just leave it at that. Okay, so there's your Nemesis Nibiru, real event captured by NASA's satellites, September 10th, 2017. Okay, that's almost 7 years ago. This September 10th, it'll be the 7-year anniversary. Okay, so for those of you who are looking for dates and trying to measure things up, well, here's a date to start with. Okay, September 10th, 2017. This happened. The dragon appeared in front of the woman, ready to devour her child. Whew. That one's titled Wake Up Call. You can come over to my channel if you want to look it up, look at it closer. That's Wake Up Call. All right. So for a long time, I've known about this. Since this day, when my life did the 180, and ever since I started doing videos and trying to warn everybody, and now it's gone from 270 all the way around to 360, and now I'm a live streamer doing solar reports and spiritual reports now. So, okay, let's back out of that one. That's gets ugly looking at after a while. The first time I saw it, I almost had a heart attack because I knew exactly what it was, and I was like, oh my God, we're toast. But don't forget, God is in control of the heavens, and he determines what happens. So let's come on over to this image. I guess we'll do a reading to this image. Yeah. Oh, joy. Look at this. She eats them up and poops them out and laughs. And then laughs. That is our mentality these days, huh? Oh, my goodness. And it's a game. You collect points. Craziness. We are absolutely insane. Okay. This little mountain right here in the foreground, I was camped out at that base of that mountain about 2-3 months ago, homeless. Okay? Some things that happened, and life just deals you lemons sometimes, right? So I'm out here making lemonade at the base of this mountain, and it was funny that that's where I ended up. And I knew that I set up camp here, and I looked up, and I'm like, oh, yeah, there's my mountain. Oh, yeah. You know what? I know I'll be delivered. I knew I would be delivered. I didn't worry about it. I knew when I was in that spot that he had me there for a reason. So there was like nothing to fear. I went through the process. I had to do what I had to do to survive, but I made it through and it was delivered. Okay, and I knew what was going to happen. Um, that's the knowing that I want you guys to have. Okay, because things are getting gnarly and it's getting stressful, and I want you guys to know and breathe a sigh of relief. This is all happening for a reason. It's happening for the wicked. It's also happening for the people who weren't informed, to give them time to get educated and be informed about what's really going on. All right, so there's that beautiful hour-long event where it turned into a little lion face, and I showed you that before here last night. In fact, just go to that real quick and play that. You can see that this face has changed now. Now we're seeing a more round, like lion type face with a nose right here. Here's an eye coming out here, an eye going that way. Here's its mouth slit, the chin going down here. So this round face right here with a crown still above it. Now I'm going to go through and show you the flip book where it changes from Jesus to this lion face. Okay, now we're here at this image right here. This is a flip book of about maybe 15 or 20 of those pictures, and it's the transition between Jesus's face and the lion face. I'm trying to get the wavy lines down. Now, this happened in the clouds, and it was so big and in your face you couldn't see it. It wasn't until I took these images and zoomed out and compressed them. You didn't zoom in. They're too big in your face. You have to zoom out to see the... Okay, much like that image of Nemesis and Nibiru, you're looking at a different dimension. All right, you have to literally kind of step out of your. Imagine if you could step outside of your body and walk a quarter mile behind you and turn around and look at the perspective from a quarter mile behind your perspective. If you could step, like I said, step outside your body, walk a quarter mile behind you and turn around and look, then you would be able to see this. But you're stuck inside your body and you can't see this deeper dimension until it's captured and compressed. So this image was compressed. Now, when I back out of it here, it's a little clearer. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. Still struggling with these lines. I know there's a lot of activity going on the sun, but I really don't feel like reporting on that stuff right now. Actually, I want to go back and revisit an event that happened earlier this year, 2020. On Easter, when I captured what appears to be Jesus in the clouds here. So I need you to tilt your head to the right about 45 degrees, and here's an eye, his other eye, his nose, his mouth, his chin and beard, his hair flowing back like this, and you can make out a crown up here above his head. And that crown is hovering over his head. There seems to be almost a little halo around his head too. And once you see that image, then we can zoom in just a little bit tighter. There you go. Okay, and this event happened, his hair flowing back like this. All right, there we go. Trying to get the wavy lines in a nice clear image for you. There we go. That's about as good as it gets right there. All right, I got some reading for you guys. Yay, I know some of you are enjoying this. It's bringing peace and a little bit of relief to you when you hear my voice. And I'm telling you some reassuring words, okay? Look at that reassuring image. Disturbing to some, reassuring to others, okay? Should be reassuring to everybody in this audience, okay? Okay, oh, it's right here. You are on the path of my choosing. There is no randomness about your life. Here and now, compromise the coordinates of your daily life. They comprise the coordinates of your daily life, the here and now. Being in the moment, the here and now comprise the coordinates of your life. Most people let their moments slip through their fingers half lived. They avoid the present by worrying about the future or longing for a better time and place. They forget that they are creatures who are subject to the limitations of time and space. They forget their Creator who walks with them only in the present. Every moment is alive with my glorious presence to those whose hearts are intimately connected with mine. As you give yourself more and more to a life of constant communion with me, you will find that you simply have no time for worry. Thus, you are freed to let my spirit direct your steps, enabling you to walk along the path of peace. The other one. Okay, here we go. Look at that picture, you guys, and listen. I give strength to the weary and increase the power of the weak. So do not be discouraged by your weakness. There are many kinds of weaknesses, and no one is exempt from all of them. I use them to keep my loved ones humble and to train them to wait on me in trusting dependence. I have promised that those who wait on me will gain new strength. This waiting is not meant to be practiced only sometimes. I designed you to look to me continually, knowing me as the living one who sees you always. Waiting on me is closely related to trusting me. The more time you spend focusing on me, the more you will trust me. And the more you trust me, the more you will want to spend time with me. Waiting on me in the midst of your moments also increases your hope in me. This hope blesses you in countless ways, lifting you above your circumstances and enabling you to praise me for the help of my presence. I am with you and will watch over you wherever you go. There is an adventurous journey awaiting you, and you're anticipating it with mixed feelings. In some ways, you are eager to step into this new adventure. You're even expecting to find abundant blessings along the way. However, part of you fears leaving your comfortable, predictable routine. When fearful thoughts assail you, remind yourself that I will be watching over you constantly wherever you are. The comfort of my presence is a forever promise. Your best preparation for the journey ahead is practicing my presence each day. Tell yourself frequently, Jesus is with me, taking good care of me. Visualize yourself holding onto my hand as you walk in trust with me. So trust me, your guide, to show you the way forward as you go step by step. I have a perfect sense of direction, so don't worry about getting lost. Relax in my presence and rejoice in the wonder of sharing your whole life with me. All right, you guys. Hopefully that brings you guys a little bit of sigh of relief there, okay? You're feeling odd because we're having this now, all right? Your body, your mind is not used to this effect, all right? It's pressure building, anticipating, anxiety. We also have events like this that happen that bring, more anxiety to some. This should be looking like a Christmas gift to others if viewed properly. It's another sign in the sun, another sign of his coming. Yeah, excitement. I'll tell you what, I am excited. I have anxiety attacks like you guys couldn't imagine. but they're they're not about death. I'm not worried about dying. I'm anxious for you guys, all right? And for I'm excited for my audience. I'm anxious for the rest of the world, okay? And I'm so happy to have my little group here. You guys are very loyal, and you'll be rewarded handsomely for it. I think you already see some of the rewards already, don't you? Some of the rewards of trusting me, following me, coming over to my show, checking it out every night, see what I got for you, brings blessings. And when you share this show, when you share this, let me explain something about my channel. Is a little different. I don't go around asking for likes and subscribers. What's more important at this channel are views. When you share this channel, you are blessing, you are being blessed first. When you share this channel with somebody, it blesses you, doesn't it? But then when that person sees what you've shown them, they get blessed as well. So you get blessed for sharing, they get blessed for receiving, and it ultimately glorifies Jesus, blessing everybody. It's a win, 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 win situation all the way around, and it continues to win and will continue to win until we have ultimate victory, which is getting very close here. And I'm going to put up a link of this lady and her research as far as stellarium and uh, the Revelation 12 star alignment is part of it. Okay. And when you see what is unfolding on God's calendar, it's not what she is telling, it's what she's showing God's calendar. Okay. And I'll put that up there and you guys can watch that and watch that at your own risk. Okay. Because it'll give you an idea of how close we are to the finish line. Okay. To victory. All right, you guys. So hang in there. Stuff like this is a sign that this stuff has to happen in order for this to happen. Okay? All right. Ultimately it's all happening because of his presence. He's here. He's very close. All right, that's it for tonight. I love you guys. I miss you guys. Everybody keep praying for each other, pray for each other for strength, for endurance, open mind, acceptance, a willingness to learn. That seems to be a problem these days. Everybody's got their mind so set already that anything outside of that box looks unlearnable. So you have to unlearn a lot that you've learned and be open to receiving new things as well. All right, that's it for tonight. I love you all. God bless you all. If anything happens here, I'll pop back on, but that's it for now. And until my next show, I'll be back. I am back. Can't you